Okay, we finally have it going. I've already streamed like 3 times. I colored a bit and inked a bit. There's been a lot of errors on my end. I didn't have my phone plugged in because I'm streaming through my iPhone. But it's all working now. Anyway, how's it going, guys? My name's Will Robson. You can check out my work at facebook.com/RobsonInc or on Twitter at RobsonInc. I'm just doing my morning sketch card. I've got a Y28, which is a gold. Oop, I just hit the camera. And I'm going to try and bring a bit of gold into this Iron Man. Not too much because I don't want it to overpower. So yeah, this is just my morning sketch cards. I'm trying to do this because I want to just get better at traditional artwork, coloring and inking, because I do everything digitally. So hopefully this will really sort of help me get a better understanding of sort of what I'm doing with this work. Because I would like to eventually move completely traditionally away from digitally. I mean, I'm very confident in my digital work, but I sort of learned how to draw as I was working digitally, which was kind of a backwards way to do it because now, like traditional stuff, I have no clue what I'm doing. It's not the artist. I know they always say it's not the tools, it's the artist, but I kind of think the opposite. I think it's not the artist, it's the tools, because I just haven't found the tools that work for me yet. Working digitally, I definitely found the tools that work for me. So yeah, it's a process. I will get there eventually. I'm just going to use a Y00 over all this stuff to blend it all a bit more in. Though I'm not a biggest fan of this Y00 because it's all a bit desaturated, but I'll just chuck it in there. And this I'm using here are Copic markers. I absolutely love these things. I just got into them about a month ago, and I'm super impressed with them. I think they're really top quality. Let's see, I got an R27 here, and then this is brighter or darker, R29. I believe that goes darker. So we're going to start with an R27 to get this going. I'm just grabbing up a reference of Iron Man. I'm not looking at the image to copy it. I'm just looking at the way people are deciding to light metal, because I want to try and obviously do a similar thing with what I'm doing. Okay, so it's more just like shining exactly where it is in front of it. So this is quite a dark red, so I don't want to go too crazy with the colors on this to start with. Oh, I hit the camera again, sorry about that. And also you can't really see what I'm doing, so let me just move my hand out of the way. It's a lovely morning in the UK. I started getting up a lot earlier than I used to sort of, get the day started and do stuff like this before I start my actual work day drawing my professional comics. And obviously this stuff doesn't look as good as what I can do digitally or professionally. But they're supposed to be fast as well. Like I'm trying to do them quickly so that I can build up speed to bust them out, especially for Comic-Con. So like at a Comic-Con, if I have a commission, instead of spending an hour and a half in it, if I could spend like half an hour on something and still produce something as good, if not better than what I was doing with before, then yeah, I'd be very happy. So it's all a test. So I'm just leaving a lot of open white space here to show like that he's very shiny, basically. And this is all guesswork. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of chucking in some spots that I think should look like that. Now I'm going to go over the red a bit more, just to make it a bit darker in the middle, but then I'm going to go over with a darker red and stuff like that. Okay, that's good. So let's get a lighter red now. It's the lightest red I have. Is it this or is this darker? That looks darker. My reds are a bit confusing. I mean, the Copics are numbered very differently, so that's quite a light red. Okay, we're going with that. And I'm probably going to add a bit of orange into his metal as well, because I like the way red and orange blending look together. So I don't want to close these gaps too much that I've created. And hopefully this red isn't too close to the other colour, because that's the problem. Sometimes these Copics, their colours are too close in between each other, so you can't even see like that I'm trying to blend them very well. It sort of shows up after the fact, really. And then let's see. This is an orange. Let's see what happens when I chuck this into stuff. You, sort of like the moment you do it, you have to be like, yeah, well, I have to use this colour now because I've just tried it out. I don't mind it, it might be a bit too orangey. But it's cool, like you can take these markers and blend colours, so you basically create like a whole new colour that you wouldn't be able to buy. Now it is colouring with basically watercolours, controlled watercolours, that's what I like to call them. Okay, I like that orange, just add a bit more in spots. Add it on this outside highlight. Okay. Then do I want to chuck pink in there? Because I suppose pink should go in the closest to the light. Just chuck it, and then that's the nice thing is you could just chuck a couple bits of colours in there, and it all works. You can always just blend it out if you want to. That's a very strong orange. Do I want to be bold with an orange, or do I want to go the yellow? This is a Y15. Let's just chuck that in there. There we go. Now this is looking like classic animated series Iron Man. Oh, hit the camera. And then I'm going to darken it up in spots. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, so I'm going to keep that colour out actually. Now let's go in with my darkest red, which is a R59. We're just going to darken up some spots. Well, this is quite strong, so I've got to be careful. Under car shadow under him. Okay, I like actually putting it that dark inside the lines looks good. Shows it sort of like deep in there. That's what she said. Got 3 people watching, no one commenting, but that's alright. As I said, it is early in the UK, and I'm sure it's early everywhere else. I am actually trying to get some more darker colours into these Copics because I've noticed that a lot of mine are too bright, so let's not be stingy with this dark red. Yeah, see, that actually makes it pop way more, so we can, keep doing that. And even though like I've already blended a ton of colours, it's not a waste of pen because it all blends together in the end, so it's good. Let's go back over now with the R27 to bring a bit more red back into everything. Try and blend those darker tones in with the rest of the piece. If I just left it, then it would look like a very cut shadow, which is fine on certain things, but it's good to bring your colours back in. So that pops a bit, I think. I just need to blend probably with this orange on the side I have again, just to make everything blend a bit better. I mean, this is all an experiment, so as I said, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get used to what I'm doing so that I can get really good at it, because I want to be on Todnok level with this stuff. So if I want to be on Todnok level, I've got to practice every day. Okay, I should have left an outer highlight rim, but I can always go back with a white to make that outer line pop. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So, what pen am I going to use? This is a Uniball Signo Broad. I'm just going to go in here and try and bring out the white again. And this one doesn't have a very... it doesn't bleed much, this white, so you can get away with just putting a bit on it. Basically, it's gel that's coming out of it, white gel. This white, if I add in spots, should make him look a bit more shiny. So I'm going to add some white back into his mask. And strands, so it kind of looks a bit more reflection-y, I would think. I'm going to put a bit more back under his eye. Oh, I keep whacking this camera. Okay, and actually, I might use my other white to go around the rim again. This is a Hybrid Gel Grip DX, and this has quite a thick bleed. So it's not bleeding right now. Come on, Mr. Pen. These white pens, they take a while for like the ink to start running. There we go. Now you can see it's running. Yeah, actually with these pens it's better to do a lighter touch to get that ink flowing. Cool. As I said, I just want to make him look like he's shiny as I possibly can. It may be good to go over a bit more of this stuff with this white. So this is all an experiment. I think he's looking a bit shiny there. Cool, I like that. Just trying to get a bit more white gel. Sometimes if you stroke it, it pushes away the gel that you've laid down. You can always just wipe your finger over it to get rid of spots that you put it on. In fact, all these black lines I've chucked in here, I'm going to turn most of them into white lines because I think that really adds to the highlight look. But I hope I don't overdo the white. No, I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Iron Man on one side. I want to make his eyes glow a bit. Should have thought about that beforehand. Doesn't matter. What does Iron Man have like a colour in his eyes? He's got a bit of shade blue, doesn't he? So this is a blue-green. I like blue-green a bit better than blue. So yeah, that's good. So I'll just have to add a bit of this in there. So I got a bit of blue in his eye, and then I'm going to take the even lighter one. What do I got here? Blue 00. Take a dark orange I have here. I'm just going to bring an orange into the bottom of this mask. Cool. Well, for a little sketch card, I think that's Iron Man's turning out good so far. I might put a thick, bold line around Iron Man, but I'm not positive I want to do that yet, because obviously there's highlights on the side of him, so I wouldn't want to ruin that. So Tony Stark now. Obviously I haven't filled in the black spots yet, because I like to do that afterwards, so that the Copics don't blend into each other. So I use black Copic to fill everything in. I'm still not happy with the colours that I'm choosing. Let's see, E00. I just ordered a bunch of new colours that haven't arrived yet, because I'm not happy with the way my sketch tones are turning out. So this is a E00 that I'm using here. No, I'm trying not to. I'm sorry if I keep whacking the camera. I'm trying to get in a position so you can all see what I'm doing as well. So yeah, the reason I started using these Copics is because of an artist called Todd Knock, and he has a YouTube channel. So I'd search Todd Knock, and that's Todd space Nauck, and he's an artist. He's currently working for Marvel, but he's worked for DC as well. I think he's drawing Nightcrawler for Marvel. But anyway, his work art style, like what he does to produce a book, is a lot simpler than his commissions, and I think that's obviously because of deadlines and turnaround times for pages. But his commissions are incredible, and that's the same way I feel about an artist called Ryan Otley who does Invincible. Like, his Invincible work is very simple compared to his actual sort of commission work. So I'm doing the opposite, where my my book artwork is very detailed, where my commission work is not as detailed. So I think I'm not doing the right thing. But that's why I'm trying to build up these commissions work so they can be super detailed. You just gotta have fun with it as well. I mean, that's the whole point of drawing, isn't it? To have fun. Like, I've really taken that to heart recently, and every sort of page that I do now, I sort of, instead of just rushing through it to hit a deadline, I sort of spend more time in the pencil stage to draw it where I'm drawing things that are fun, so that when I go to ink it, it's not going to be a drag. Like, I'm looking forward to inking what I've penciled. So that way, I will produce a page faster and I have more fun doing it. So we're going with an E95 now. So this is a darker tone. So we're going to put it in those spots that really need some darker tones in there. And I love Iron Man. I loved Iron Man before the films came out, because I always just thought in the 90s, which is kind of what I did on this side of the Iron Man, he just looked so cool. Like, he used to have like his action figures. I remember the animated series they had of Iron Man, which I do not recommend going back to watch, because it is a terrible, awful cartoon. But I've always liked Iron Man, especially Civil War. I always thought Civil War was one of the best stories he's been in. I know they're bringing back Civil War in the comics right now, but I'm not sure really what's going on with that. There's a bunch of stuff going on. There's a bunch of old titles. I even have the Civil War book because of the sketch covers that I do, but I've yet to take a peek at what's going on in that. In fact, the only Marvel I'm reading right now is Groot. I don't know if any of you guys are reading that, but it's really great. It's, the artist is a famous Disney artist that worked on a lot of Disney films. And he's drawing it, and the way he draws Rocket Raccoon is really adorable, basically. Okay, so now I'm taking an E000, and I'm going to use this... stop whacking the camera. Use this to blend everything in a bit more. Kind of like what I did with the yellows and oranges. Oh, there's a bit of black on this mark. That's not good. Yeah, you rub this over all the other E's, and once it dries a bit, you'll see that everything is sort of just blending into each other nicely. Well, that's what we hope it happens. And then let's go back in with an E00 just to blend a bit more stuff in there. Another camera whack. Because I like the colour of this E00. I still don't know exactly what skin tones I want to use. Like, I'm using this stuff which has got quite lots of pinks and other stuff in it. I think that's pretty good for now. Let's take a warm grey 3 and add a bit of darkness in the spots, like under his eyes. I really want that to be in shadow. Certainly under his cheek. I like these warm greys because it's kind of just like dropping shadow on everything. I don't want to overdo it. Just in the spots that I think it needs. Like under big parts. If that makes any sense. Because you don't want to lay down too many colours, otherwise it all goes a bit crazy. Do I want to bring a bit of pink into his cheeks? Let's follow it. Yeah. I mean, I know Todd Knock adds a lot of pink on the noses of his characters, which I'm not the hugest fan of. But it's good to bring a bit of pink in spots. I may have made his cheek a bit too pink on the side there, but okay, I think it's time to step away from the face there. Step away from the face. Okay, hair color. I kind of like to use blues for black. I've got this really dark blue here. I think that's too dark. But yeah, I like to use blues if you have black hair. It's kind of like the classic comic book look. Like Wolverine in the 90s, like, even though he has black hair, he's got like blue highlights, and I don't know, I just like the way that looks. So yeah, if I keep doing this every day, then hopefully I can get to master level. I need a much lighter blue than that. What's this? What colour is that? That's violet. That's not good. I believe this is the lighter blue, isn't it? Yeah, that's a lighter one. So the colours I'm using here, like B93 and B96 and stuff, to blend these in. Cool, and now I can add the black. Oh no, I'll do that at the end. What colour are Tony Stark's eyes? They're like brown, aren't they? this brown. I want his eyes to be too dark. Let's see. E35. Yeah, that's good. And then I still haven't decided what colour I want to do, like the inside of eyes. Usually, if I'm doing it traditionally, I use a blue. So let's use a B, the lightest B I have, which is B00, which is still a bit too blue. But I'm just going to add a bit in the corners of his eyes to show that there's shadow there. And then what colour should his tie be? And his shirt. Maybe I'll make his shirt a warm grey, which is kind of like a khaki, almost in a way. Yeah, that's good. So what I'm doing is just taking different numbers, because I have all the warm grey numbers, and just blending them into each other so that it all looks like one solid colour, but there's still a look of a highlight there. And then if you take a darker tone like this, then you can add like sort of those cut shadows like that. And if we want the suit to be black, then we obviously want to do what we did with the hair. So let's take this. We're just going to blend these together. So we get that. Just make it a bit darker in spots. I have nobody watching the live stream right now, so everyone watching on YouTube is getting the full benefit of this. And his tie, I guess we'll make it red, like, because he's Iron Man, he's got red in him. So he usually just wears like a black suit and a black tie, doesn't he? Still want to darken this blue up here. That's better. Okay, now that we've done the basic colours, we can go back in with black. So let's take, where is it? There it is. This is just a black Copic. I have tons of these, so that's why I try and use them up for doing the blacks. Oh, sorry, I just realised I've been colouring not on the camera. That's not good, is it? And this is when you sort of see the final piece come together a bit better. Yeah, that looks like Tony Stark, I would say. Let's try and blend some of this black, actually, into the blue. So it looks like it's really going darker. Yeah, that's good. Same up here, actually. See how it's pulling the black a bit out of it? I mean, I wish I didn't put those black full ink marks in there, but it does create a bit more of a fade. That's why it's good to use these blacks, because you can create a bit of fade with it as well. And the nice thing about these markers too is even if you get a bit of black on or a different color on them, unlike another marker where it's like permanently on it, you can just sort of wash it a bit, like not wash it, but just like rub it on your paper a bit, and it will come together a bit more. Okay, let's see. So we need some background color now. I don't know if I want to do a color fade. I might make his background orangey yellow to balance with that. I think that's a good idea, actually. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is blend 3 different shades of orange. Y38, Y35, and Y21. And this will sort of add a color fade, and you'll see in a minute what I'm doing. Oops. So yeah, that's like, you add a base sort of color down like that first. You can even go over it a bit at the top a bit more. Sure, it's getting darker. So that was the Y38. Now we're going to the Y35. And what we're going to do is push this orange and blend it down. So it's going to blend into a lighter color of orange. And you can even go over the top as well if you've created a new color with it. So there's a bit of a blend, and then an even lighter Y21. Most stuff you can color with just 3 tones to get a really nice blend. Make sure you're pushing the brush along the same line. See, there you go. So now it's almost like using a gradient on a computer, which is really fun look for a sketch card because it sort of looks a bit more painterly. It's a shame I went over his ear a bit there, so his ear's gone a bit orange, but that's okay. I suppose I could actually use the E00 again to go over it. Try and push that colour out a bit. Yeah, that works. That's what I love about this, like you can just push and pull colours before it dries. Okay, now, to make Iron Man stand out, I suppose a blue is a good colour. I don't know if orange and blue are the best contrasting colours, but that should be alright. I don't have very good blue fades though. Oh, I tell you what, I do have these colours though. BG34, BG49, G05, G09. Sorry, I'm just organising my colours. I realise there's stuff incorrect in there. See, I've got these colours, but I'm missing the highlight, which I do have ordered, so that blend wouldn't be amazing. But I suppose I could still blend it with a different colour. Let's see how different these are. I mean, that's a pretty good fade, so we're just going to try that. Problem is, if they're not the right colours in the colour code, it will definitely not blend as well. Sorry, my camera stand is right in front of me, so it's right on where my pen strokes are going. Okay, there's that. So let's take this BG34. And I don't actually spend this long on these in the morning. Since I'm chatting while I'm doing it, it's taking me longer than actually what it would take me. Because usually one takes me about 35 minutes to do each one, where I've now spent nearly an hour on this on this one. But I had camera difficulties and I was trying to set stuff up, so I blame it on that. There you go. That still blends. Let's bring this green into that up there. Alright, 3, 4. So I have a box of all my Copics, and I try to keep them in order so I can know exactly the colours I'm doing with them. So that's basically done, that sketch card. I think to make it pop a bit more, I think gold would be the best colour for the border. If you see my work, I put gold around everything. So I've got a uni paint marker, and it's gold. I need to let this bleed a bit before I use it, because not always the gold comes out of it. There we go, it's bleeding now. So I'm just going to put this line around everything. This should just make everything pop a bit more, so when light hits it, you can see the gold on it. It's just a fancy border, really. And then I put a border around the whole thing with a gold Sharpie. Hitting that camera again. And I sell these at cons. I've actually sold a couple of them. That's why I like them, because it's just like a morning warm-up, but it could potentially be profitable. So why not? Now, do I be bold and put a gold line down the middle? I think that would look pretty cool. I just would have to be careful that it doesn't bleed, so I'll do that more at the end. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put a gold line down all of it, but we'll just see how that goes. So this is the gold Sharpie. I just like to add a bit of a border to it. Obviously do this last because it's easy to blend it over all the colours. I'm like, yeah, I could get a ruler out and make this line straight, but I kind of like the messy look of it. And then when you do make it vaguely... Oh, that was too much. When you do make it vaguely perfect, it does look quite cool. Right, let's be bold with this line, shall we? You got to kind of go quickly, because if you sit with that Uniball pen for a little while, you have trouble and it just bleeds over the whole image. So this could ruin the whole sketch card right now. So why not? Let's just do it, shall we? So let's make sure it's flowing. It is. So let's... Whee! Okay. That's what you got to do. You just got to get in there and do it. So make sure you have a good hand on your ruler as well for stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, you could really cop it up. I think that's pretty much done, that one. Can't think of anything else I want to add onto it. No, that's pretty much done. Okay, thanks guys for watching. You can check out my work at facebook.com/RobsonInc or on Twitter at RobsonInc. See you guys later. Bye.